This is Jennifer Brown Lindsay, and this is my second original discussion post. Today is February the 14th, so happy Valentine's Day. Today, our coaching question asked us what was a concept presented in the chapters that we have read this week that really challenged our thinking about what we understand about coaching or learning, and why did we find that so challenging, and did we have any ideas about how to think more deeply about that. So for my notes, the 3 chapters this week that we read about talked about 3 different types of coaching. It talked about literacy coaching, it talked about cognitive coaching, and it talked about content coaching. And I guess for myself, because I'm getting my master's in reading, so that's very interesting to me. That is actually the chapter that really stood out to me, because one of the paths that I could take after I graduate with my master's is to possibly be a reading coach or be a reading specialist. So I found that very interesting, and I will say that chapter 3 about being a reading coach, I really, really enjoyed this chapter because I felt like it was very, very honest. It basically, to sum it up, said overall that there's no data that shows that there's no data that's directly tied that can show that reading coaches are producing these fabulous results and that their programs are worthwhile. Basically, what it says is that all of a sudden there was this huge boom of need to do something about literacy because we're having all these problems, so we're going to hire all these reading coaches and we're going to see what happens. So and in and of itself, literacy coaching is just a function of instructional coaching. So that's just a little bit of background to tell you a little bit about what leads me to my biggest challenge when I was reading through this, that really challenged the way that I was thinking. On page 65 and 66, I found this really interesting. It's talking about the confusion in literacy coaching between programs and models. And I didn't know this before I read this, so I thought it was very interesting, and I find it to be challenging. Basically, what it says on page 66 is that if you think of a model as a presentation of like big ideas, it says theories, concepts, or ideas. A model is not a plan. So a model is not something that you go and do. A program, it says, is actually something that you can go and do. And basically what this section goes on here to say is that basically with the evolving nature of literacy coaches and their spring up in schools, that you have all of these people that needed to do something. So while they think they have this whole model of coaching, and some of it to an extent they do, but what they really are is they're programs. So they're not a model, they're not theories, and they're not concepts. And when I really sit back and think about that, I guess the biggest challenge for me when I think of like my why is that so challenging for me, is because I know from what I've learned in my reading classes and what I'm still continuing to learn, like even in this class, is that coaching, everything it's grounded in theory, and it's grounded in research, and it's grounded in concepts. So that's really important. So I think that, I hope I'm saying this right. I'm confusing myself here, but I think that if you could take literacy coaching and you could build a model as a tool for literacy coaching, something that is uniform across the board, based on theories and concepts that are research-based, then from there you could take that best practice of a model and you could build programs to support those literacy programs that reading coaches could and literacy coaches could share and could help their teachers with. I hope that makes sense. So, because, when I think about, So anyways, so that was what I found the most challenging. Like I said, I enjoyed the chapter about literacy coaching. I absolutely agreed with most of it. And anyway, so that's my challenge for the week. So I look forward to seeing your video responses and responding by Sunday. Thanks.